First story. Can I try to get back with my ex who I accidentally broke her heart? I, 24M, recently got a text from my ex-GF, and it was her asking if she could use me a referral at my job and if I could put in a good word for her to my company's HR to boost her application. Anna, 22F fake name, and I had dated for the half of the year last year. She was a sweet girl and she was always happy to see me. She was an amazing girlfriend and one of the kindest person I've ever met. Unfortunately, I was the opposite. I'm ashamed of it, but I'm not saying it was all the way completely. I was still a nice guy, but I was still growing. I was dealing with some issues at home and I have a low self-esteem, so I formed a bad habit of being jealous of all the good she brought. I was a bad person to her and toxic as hell. It was really mean of me, and my foolish brain used to think she was annoying. I didn't even get fully conscious of my actions till I started seeing my therapist 2 months after we broke up, and I was sorry for my actions. When we broke up, she had ended our conversation quietly with, "Just know you broke my heart." After our last mild argument, cleared her things when I got back from my work trip, and blocked me everywhere on social media. Her friends also did the exact same thing. There was no, "I'm breaking up with you," or "It is over between us." Just a disappearance from my life like she never existed in my world. I was so hurt, and at first didn't think she would leave me like that. Since then, I've never met another woman like her. I compare every woman I am with to her and look hard at women who have a feature that is hers for just a glimpse of my love. I miss her and have always wished to get to talk to her, explain myself, and let her see me as the new healed man I am, and maybe for her to be mine again. I've gotten updates of her from a new friend's social media page. She's doing really well. She has gotten more beautiful, picked up hobbies that makes her so happy, and has gotten the degree she was in school for, and I am so proud of her. I love her so much still, even though the way she left me kinda hurts. This text had to be the best thing that has ever happened to me, and my plan to do now is agree to helping her land the position she applied for in my job in exchange for a date with her at our first restaurant date. I think it's a great idea and truly brilliant. She can't say no, even though she might want to, because she might still not like me, but knows my company is one of the best in the world for people in her field, and I am in a good position in my company because my grandfather was one of the beginning shareholders. It is my less way of finally at least being in the same space with her. What do you think? Second story. Girl offered me a ride home after we met at the airport. Was flying back from a bachelor party and waiting at the gate to board. This girl approached me after I noticed her looking at me, and she then comes over and asks a question about the boarding order. She was pretty bubbly with me and I felt a bit of a vibe. Didn't think too much of it and continued to mind my own business. Eventually, I make my way onto the plane as one of the last to board. It's assigned seating, and who is sitting right next to me? That's right. Now, this is starting to feel like a rom-com. I sit down and we immediately start chatting and hitting it off. Similar interests, and she is going to college in my hometown. Quick flight, but chatted a ton the whole way, and she's asking me tons of questions. After landing, we just kept talking all the way from leaving the plane, through the airport, and to the curb. Once outside she asks how I'm getting home. I tell her Uber, and she then offers to give me a ride as her car is parked there. Gladly accepted, and away we go. My actual first thought was, hell yeah, free ride. The whole ride, I'm thinking what all the dudes reading this are thinking. Do I invite her in? In short, I didn't. I asked for her hash, and we ended up texting for a few days, and I asked her to get coffee. She politely declined, and that was that. Even though nothing came of it, it's a great story, but I'll always wonder if I had invited her in, would she have accepted? Or was she just a super nice girl with some airport infatuation? Also, it should be noted she was a 20YO sophomore in college, and I was 27, so I took that into account as well.